Alright, Schlockmeister fans, we're going to watch something called Giselle. She Lives to Love. Let's check it out. Our movie starts with an instrumental version of Scott McKenzie's San Francisco. This is the Lucchini family. This is Giselle, star of our film. That's her stepmom and dad. In no time at all, Giselle runs off with Angelo, the guy who works there on their family's farm, while an instrumental of Let It Be plays. While Giselle frolics with Angelo on the waterfall, her stepmom watches and enjoys it.
No bother, sir.
There's Angelo. Now we meet the family again, Giselle.
My wife's son, Sergio,
Stepmom Heidi, that's her father.
I'd like you to meet him at the station. Sure. When?
Heidi's son, Sergio, is on his way over.
I've come here to talk to you.
Heidi comes to talk to her stepdaughter.
Talk about? Today, it was accidental, but I happened to be down by the river and I saw what you and Angelo were doing there.
Naturally, they both get turned on to each other and start to do things that I can't show you.
How lovely you are. Tonight you can sleep alone.
Heidi's more infatuated with her stepdaughter than her husband now.
Oh, will you stop this nonsense? You'll have to sleep in Giselle's room tonight and Giselle will sleep with me. Now that's it. It's decided. That's all.
Giselle decides to sneak Angelo through her window.
What the hell's going on around here? Huh? What are you doing in this room? Isn't this where your father sleeps with Heidi? Doesn't it belong to your parents?
It's Angelo's lucky night, though.
Explain right now. The only important thing is that we're not going to be alone tonight.
We're not.
The next day, Angelo picks up Sergio at the train
Who are
station.
you? My name's Angelo. I work on your mother's ranch. I'm sorry that you had to wait, but I had some trouble with the engine on the pickup. I didn't mind.
Well, it's this girl. I'm so fond of her already. And what I'd like you to know, my dear, is that from now on you must consider this place home. I drink to my new daughter.
All right, that's enough of that tonight. And before we become too sentimental, I propose that we bring our drinks outside and smoke some fine Havana cigars.
There on that last stretch.
Oh, my tires.
Sergio and Angelo and Giselle spend some time riding horses.
Both knocked out. It's disgraceful. More.
Sergio and Angelo get into a bar fight with three men in slow motion. Later on, when Giselle comes home, she finds Sergio and Angelo engaged. Didn't expect that.
What's going on in here? I never guessed.
So she decides to join them.
Come on, get your asses out of that truck.
Later on, they run into some thieves, although I think these were the same three guys from the bar who attacked the three of them as well as Heidi. Ladies are taken advantage of.
Now, where
Now here's a disturbing scene. This boy comes out of
What do you want?
Mr. Lucchini's room.
I've been calling and calling you.
It's
Where have you been hiding it? Don't act as if you didn't hear
the
me.
maid's
Were you
son, I
calling
believe.
us?
Don't be upset. The kid wasn't any trouble. He wanted some candy. There was a box in the hallway.
The boy thanks you, sir. I'll come back later in time to cook.
And then our 3 victims, or 4 victims, just come home as if nothing ever happened. Heidi's completely obsessed with Giselle now.
Now, Giselle, if you're referring to my little affair with that ranch hand Angelo, allow me to explain it. All men are nothing to me. I'm not turned on by them. You're what matters. You wanted to have some fun the other night. As people say things they shouldn't. I promise I won't act like that again. Shall we make love? Okay.
So Giselle gets involved with like sending medicine to like underprivileged kids and stuff, and she gets a kick out of that. And she's hanging out with this lady named Anna.
But it was worth it. You know, I never dreamed that I'd like something as much as I like doing all the work with medicine.
So now she's enjoying Anna's company. Can't show you much more of this scene. But what's Heidi gonna think of that?
If you persist in this crazy idea, you leave me no choice. I'll have to tell your father about it.
I just don't think you'd say anything, because if you did, we'd both be losers.
Don't hand me that. You're leaving me anyway, since you're running away with her. I know everything is all over between us, and it won't mean a damn to me how you get your revenge.
Heidi's mad at the world now.
You bastard.
The hell's the matter?
You weren't enough of a man to keep her here. You son of a bitch. You worthless bastard.
You don't have to take out your frustrations on
Nasty
me.
bastard, keep your mouth shut.
They get into a heated argument. She hits him, he hits her back, and I guess that's foreplay. So, wherever Anna is, she's with these people that are trying to do human rights stuff or whatever, I don't know. Anna gets shot. And Giselle escapes. So Giselle goes home while a Muzak version of Yesterday plays. So, Heidi's sunbathing on the rocks. Giselle decides to surprise her. I'm back.
Giselle.
It's okay.
Oh, Giselle.
Then Angelo spots them frolicking in the water.
Giselle! Giselle!
Come on over, hurry!
I'm coming!
All the time Heidi's spending with Giselle, she has no time for her husband.
Why, Heidi? You've been away a long time. Why do you treat me this way?
Forget it, Bikini. You've waited this long, a night more won't make any difference. I'm very tired. I'll think about it tomorrow night.
Stepmom has some
Truth is,
major
you've fallen in love
jealousies.
with Angelo. What's the matter? Are you jealous? What if I were? Don't I have good reason to be? After all that's happened between us lately, you can't blame me for feeling insecure.
Isn't that just another word for jealousy? You keep looking for bad things instead of taking advantage of all the good things that are right before your eyes.
Here we confirm Lucchini is a perv.
Georgie! Oh, there you are. How many times have I told you to stay out of that house? I wasn't doing anything.
Angelo's not going to tell anybody, though.
I may not condone what you were doing with that kid. And it wasn't the first time either, I would guess. I'm not going to tell anyone your little kinky vice will remain a secret.
He agrees to pay for some schooling for him to keep him quiet, basically.
I'm going to make sure your dream turns into reality. You can begin applying for the necessary papers. It'll be worthwhile. For your father.
For something lacking in me.
She's leaving.
I didn't find it. It's not here I'll solve my problem. It's here. And so I'm going back to Europe as soon as I can.
But that's not fair to me, Giselle.
And a friend,
She's definitely
I
going.
really hope you can understand that. I tried to start a new life with you here, but somehow it didn't work out. Then I made my decision. Can't imagine how relieved I felt. I felt immensely relieved. As if a great weight had been taken off my shoulders.
And Heidi wants a divorce. After all, she's in love with stepdaughters and he's in love with little boys.
Resulted in nothing but frustration. Each of us has been frustrated. Our marriage has been only an accommodation. There's no reason for it any longer. I guess all of us have matured, Lucchini.
So Lucchini gets them all together one last time to kind of toast the good times that they've had.
The photographs.
And that's our film. All right, let's talk about Giselle, or as the on-screen title was called, Her Summer Vacation. This apparently was a huge movie smash in Brazil in 1980. I never heard of it until about 20 years ago. Somehow I acquired a bootleg VHS of it. Don't even know where I got it from. It wasn't released on VHS in this country that I'm aware of, but the copy I have, which is what's burned on here, this is a DVD-R, has no subtitles, and it's in English, so who knows where it came from, but whatever. The movie stars this chick named Alba something or other, Alba Villar or something, I don't know, I can't remember her name. And she comes home from summer vacation, or she comes home from schooling, I guess, in Europe. She comes back to Brazil to spend time on her father's ranch. Her father is now married to this woman named Heidi. She calls her auntie sometimes, but her name is Heidi, stepmom. Immediately, Heidi takes a fancy to Giselle, so much so that they sleep together and they become a couple. She becomes infatuated with Giselle. Also in the picture is Angelo. He works on their ranch. He ends up sleeping with Giselle. And then Giselle has a threesome with stepmom and Angelo. Later on, Heidi's son Sergio is picked up at the train station. He's picked up by Angelo, and then Angelo and Sergio are caught in the act doing it with each other. Giselle's the one who catches them. She's like, "What's going on here?" And she starts laughing. Then she takes off her clothes and joins them. So there you go. Meanwhile, there's this underlying subplot, which is kind of hinted at a couple of times, where the father, Mr. Lucchini, Heidi's husband, Giselle's dad, might be into little boys. I don't know. They kind of hint at it a little bit. They don't obviously show anything, but Christ, what a film this is. At one point, our characters get attacked and assaulted. The girls do anyway. Then Giselle runs off with this woman named Anna, who's involved in some sort of, I don't know if it's anti-government activities or what it is exactly, but she ends up, Anna ends up being shot, which I guess was okay with Heidi because she was jealous of the attention that Anna and Giselle had together. But Anna comes back after the shooting as if nothing ever happened and jumps into the water with Heidi, and then Angelo joins them. They're a threesome again. Man, this film's just all over the place. Eventually, it's decided that Giselle says, "You know what? I can't make a life here. I'm going to go back to Europe. That's where I belong." Heidi's really pissed off because she's in love with her stepdaughter at this point. And then she tells her husband the next day, "We can't be married together. We both are looking for different things," which is clearly obvious from this movie. And then at the end of the movie, Mr. Lucchini gets the whole gang back together, and they're at a table. They're basically toasting their time together. They had a great time. This is our last time together, and it ends on a happy note. Just strange film. That's Giselle. So again, this girl, Giselle, she sleeps with everybody. The farmhand, the maid, her stepmom, and then the stepmom's with everybody too. It's just crazy. All these interactions here. And then up with that little kid, I don't know what was up with that, if that was even happening. At one point they showed horses mating in this movie too, which was real, by the way. Yeah, hell of a film. I don't know what to make of this thing. Again, this was allegedly a very large hit in Brazil in 1980. I guess. I don't know. I never even heard of this one until about 20 years ago, and it still doesn't have any fanfare here. But anyway, that's it. Giselle, otherwise known as Her Summer Vacation. It's an interesting little film. I'm willing to bet that nobody out there has seen this movie besides me. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Check it out. If you can find this thing, let me know what you think about it. Leave some comments. It's Giselle. She loves to love. That she does. She lives to love. Watch it. Bye.